What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive.
Hey, ladies. Are you busy taking care of the world, but not taking care of yourself? Running around exhausted, in pain, and maybe this is not the life you dreamed of as a child. Are you ready to reclaim your life? I am your host, Shayna Melissa Stockman, the world wellness expert. I will. I get people feeling better and better when medications don't. And today we have a very, very special guest all the way from Australia. She actually migrated there from Chile all the way to Australia, Miss Maria Hopwood. After navigating various administrative roles and managerial roles in business, she sought stability for as a single mom with four beautiful babies. She landed a corporate job in Sydney, which provided some security. However, in about 2015, she witnessed her second husband having some medical issues, and that reawakened her to the new technology of the biotechnologies. And that really piqued her interest. And then, after understanding biotechnology and the impact it had on her husband's medical conditions, she decided to make a market of it and really capitalize on it. Understanding these biotechnologies, she never looked back. She decided to open her home based business, and that allowed her to reclaim her life while contributing to global humanitarianism efforts. Then she had lost everything twice. We have so many parallels there. She knows the power of hard work and really appreciates having to work for food, water, clothing, shelter for her four babies and herself. And now she's very successful, impactful leader in Australia and global guru that she's very insightful. She's creating a life which she doesn't have to take a holiday because she can have every holiday when she wants them. This truly excited her the most, and she loves sharing her vision for a better future to impact the life of her and her loved ones. Miss Maria Hopwood, thank you for being here all the way from Australia today.
Oh, wow. Thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be on your show. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello,
Aw,
everyone.
you're welcome. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Just about to start the day. It's 9:30 here in Australia. Nice and sunny. A little bit
Yes.
cool, which is unusual where I live, but pretty nice.
Yes, where that's important for the viewers to know. I see the eyeballs on us because I'm in the US right now on Long Island in New York, where it is Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. And Maria is all the way in Australia where it's Thursday, 9:30 a.m. So we're ending
That's
our
good.
day. She's starting it. That's why you might see two different times that this was occurring. And um, eh, I was amazed that you reached out to me because I'm like, I know you're a wellness guru in Australia. So thank you for reaching out to me. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened, right? We could all learn from each other.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Lots of collaboration. It's the way we move the world.
Yeah. And I know we both overcame a lot of resilience. And when your husband was ill, what was it that made you look outside of the pharmaceutical, synthetic carcinogenic drugs for something else and maybe newer? Was it misdiagnosis a bunch of times or?
No, 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 it wasn't. In fact, he could not be diagnosed. They didn't know what it was. And there was a skin disorder, but they labeled it a lot, but nobody could actually find the solution. So we sort of decided to go both ways. So for time efficiency, so my husband decided to research the medical model, and I decided to research the naturopathic homeopathy model, which
Nice.
is where I normally live, right? So there's a place for both. and that's
Yes.
how I found it. Mm.
Nice, nice. Now, maybe we could start back when you were younger. I understand that you migrated from Chile to Australia when you were about 9 years old and didn't speak English, right? The language and the country you're moving to. How was that? How did you overcome that one?
It was a huge experience. Look, I'm not afraid of change. I'm not afraid of challenges. So I took it upon myself to have a great life, a great. I looked at it as an adventure, and yes, it wasn't easy. But these situations build they build resilience, they build strength, and I'm a better person for it. I was about 9 or 10 or whatever it was. I was very young, I had no English, and we had very little when we came to Australia. Yeah.
Nice. But I think that makes you appreciate so much more because I know I had to work for everything that I obtained. So I think it makes us more appreciative of what we have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it provides us a contrast, and it gives us a life when shows us those challenges. Life goes, okay, you've got this or you've got that. Which one is it going to be? And you've got to make a choice. You can make the
Yes.
choice, but then you have to make it work. And the only way to make it work is by working on yourself and finding how do I how do I become the best person I can possibly be so that I can contribute to humanity and in particular to this country that opened the doors to us when nobody else would.
Ah, that's sweet. And I think we're both very resilient because we both struggled from nothing to where we are. So maybe we're more appreciative. And for the people, the viewers that are watching, drop us down below where you're watching from, and if you have any questions for us. And what if somebody's struggling now? What piece of advice would you give them? Like, what piece of advice would you? Maybe I'll keep talking. Maria, I think there might be a little Wi-Fi connection problem. Maybe close out any other windows you have open. In the meantime, maybe I'll just keep talking. So we both overcame life
Yeah,
obstacles.
yeah, they're all
Oh, there she is.
keep
And
talking.
we had to make a choice. We could choose to stay where we were, or we could choose to, hey, I'm not going to settle for this, and look around at what resources we had. Correct? Yeah, I think her
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
that's
is cutting
correct.
out. So I'm going to talk
Absolutely,
for another minute.
100%.
So it's important when you are yeah, when you are struggling to, you don't have to settle for where you are. That doesn't, your past does not define your future. Your future is bright. Look around at all the resources you have. Everything we need is right around us. Reach out to someone that's already been there, done that, because they're more experienced of it at it, and they could possibly expedite your journey. And I know Marie and I share many commonalities, coming from not a lot, working really hard, realizing we weren't going to just take it. We were resilient. That helped build it and strengthen us up. We chose our path. We chose to not just settle where we were. We knew when her husband and myself were misdiagnosed or were mysterious diagnoses by numerous doctors, we knew we weren't just going to settle for that and say, okay, fine. We wanted more, and we knew there was better out there. And I guess both of us simultaneously at other ends of the world were mystery diagnosis, her husband and myself, and we both did our own research and advocated for ourselves. And we both said, you know what, we're going to try both ways, and we're going to see which ways win. And I know for myself, and a lot of people don't know my story, I had all the weirdest symptoms. I was a total medical mystery. And now I know 99% of people that come to me that are medical mysteries, I rapidly figure it out after being in the field for 30 years. And a lot of the times it's autoimmune disorders that are misdiagnosed because there's over 100. I don't know your husband's story. It might have been psoriasis, which is autoimmune. I'm not sure. But a lot of times you have to take control. If you're not getting better with your healthcare provider, you need to push for more tests. You need to push for something else. You need to reach to a specialist. You need to reach out to one of us. I know I offer virtual consultations like this, private, where, that's how we first met. We were talking privately like this. And I think it's important for everyone to choose not to just settle if they're not happy and they're not getting better, and look at the research and look at us and reach out to one of us. I
Yeah,
think
I
you're back.
absolutely agree. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Look, I agree with you 100%, Sheena, because you know there's so much out there in the world, and as a human sovereign being, it's important that we make a decision as to how we're going to go along through life,
Mm.
looking ourselves and taking care of ourselves and the loved ones. Now, medical, it's fabulous, and there is a place for it. I'm not
Mm.
saying don't
Yes.
ever go to medical. You know, if you break your arm or something happens, I'm not going to spray something and hope that it works. I
Yes.
need some action, right? But there are times, but both areas, I think natural therapies and conventional medicine, they're just a wealth of information and knowledge. And I think as a world citizen, it's important that we take responsibility for that and go looking. If something doesn't
Mm.
feel right, go looking. Do not settle. You know, at the end of the
Yes.
day, there's only one of you in the world, and really, you
Yes.
got to do the very best that you can
Yes.
here with that knowledge and what's around you.
I couldn't have said it better. I'm not opposed to medicine because I can prescribe all day long. I just think there's a time and place for everything. And the way I work is medicine's not first because medicine often just treats a symptom and does not attack the root cause. When you don't attack the root cause, the underlying problem is continuing to worsen, worsen, worsen. And when you don't attack the root cause, you can't stop the progression and you definitely can't reverse it to get rid of the symptoms. That's why I find when I look outside of pharmaceuticals, that I can actually attack the root cause often. And when I attack the root cause, it stops the progression from getting worse. It often reverses it. Now, when the disorder reverses, the symptoms often go away. And when the symptoms often go away, there's no longer a need for the pharmaceutical for the symptom that you no longer have. And then when we don't need the drug, then there's no side effects, interactions, dependencies, and lethal overdoses. So I'm on board with you. I'm not opposed to it. It's just in America, a lot of times we're too easy to just pop a pill, and it's not getting to the cause. And I know you're very knowledgeable about cellular level and cellular inflammation and all that, if you will. Can you enlighten the viewers for that don't have a lot of medical background on what you saw in the biotechnologies? What do you see as like maybe the root causes of some of our problems and how we attack it differently?
Oh yeah, just to start before I start on that, I've no medical background, and I've got to tell you, I've no medical
Yes.
background. I've got a head for business. I can actually take something and drive it and make it. I like businesses, right? It just happened that this biotechnology landed on my lap, and I helped my husband, and then I had to learn. So look, we do the best what we can with what we've got, but we live in a toxic world. Now, there's
Yes.
stress. The food is actually not the best. The soils are depleted. God only knows what rains on us, you know. Yeah, it's just like, oh my goodness. And then you've got all the pollution, and of course, then you've got the constant media telling you this is the way to do it, when you know very well that there are other ways to do it. And I think
Hmm.
as humans, we are caught on a treadmill of stress, not eating well, not exercising, living in a very toxic, can't do anything about that. But sometimes we don't join the dots. And that's
Hmm.
important to join the dots because we can't, no matter where you are in the world, there is toxicity.
True.
There's not, I love
Yeah.
to think that there's utopia somewhere, but there isn't. And we need to make the best of it, make it work for us. So we need to look after ourselves
True.
the best way
There's
possible.
yeah, there's so much toxic planes, trains, automobiles, the sun. You get radiation just flying at the altitude. You microwave something, you use your cell phone. People don't realize this. They might not smoke, but you know what? You work out. That's great. You worked out your heart, but you also created more free radicals and more oxidative stress and more cellular inflammation. And sometimes the pro athletes actually have the most inflammation. So it's good for them in certain ways. It's building cardiovascular health, but it's also adding to inflammation, and they need more so to get rid of that than we do, I think.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
cellular inflammation, I look at it like this: inflammation's never good. Right? You overwork, you overtype, you get carpal tunnel. You play tennis, you get tennis elbow. That's inflammation. That's itis, right? Tendinitis. And that's never good, and we need to get rid of that inflammation. I think how Marie and I work is we attack the inflammation on a cellular level, where neutralizing those free radicals that cause the oxidative stress. We're neutralizing those free rads that cause oxidative stress that causes inflammation, right? And, it's important to get rid of that free radical. And that's basically it. And we detoxify the cells, and I work on having your bodies make more mitochondria required for the cells to live. And, Maria, what else would you like to share on okay, how about this? You're busy working, you're very global with your business, as am I. And how do you make the time in your busy lifestyle? Because